Welcome to In Your House. And before we get into the actual episode itself, we would be remiss if we didn't bring up the shocking passing of the Iron Sheik. Just took us all by surprise. Very, very sad news, Hype. Very sad.
Very sad about the passing of Iron Sheik, of course. It was a shock to me. It's somebody that I really look up to. I followed him closely, followed his career closely, and it was just sad.
Yes, man. I mean, the Iron Sheik, this was a man who, in his day, in his age, was just a monster heel. I mean, he was able to do things that other men in the locker room couldn't do. He had those big things that he carried around, and he would have them over his shoulder, man, and it was crazy. But he really did so much for the business in his time. The Iron Sheik did. Of course, some of his notable moments was ending Bob Backlund's title reign, and this is a guy who came in a time where he was the anti-American guy. I mean, in a time. Yeah. Can you imagine a guy that a collective of people hate so much that it just brings them together as a country? That was the Iron Sheik, man.
Yeah, that is crazy. And in that time, it was in that time of world turmoil. That was it. It took a lot to play that character, to play that sort of character, to play an Iranian or or a Russian or any sort of thing like that. I think nowadays we kind of get it, right, and we understand it, even though I guess things sometimes go too far, I guess. But to be able to play that character, to be that perfect heel, to make guys like, I don't even want to say his name, but I'll say his name in respect of Sheik, to make guys like Hulk Hogan, and to do what he did for wrestling, right? Man, shout out to Sheik, man.
For real, man. Incredible. I mean, this is a guy who just stood on who he was. Because, who was going to press him? That's the thing. Who was going to press this massive man? Olympic gold medalist, WWF World Heavyweight Champion, former tag team champion. I mean, the things that he's done, and he never let up on Hogan over the years. He took that man's title and he never let up. He let him fuck the Hulk Hogan, bro. He never let up over the years. It was great to see his social media amazing. And as much as he can't stand Hogan, this is the man who created Hulkamania, a man that was hated so much that they needed to have that hero like Hulk Hogan to come in and swoop in and save the day. And that was exactly, I mean, you can't create something like Hulkamania unless you were killing it in your role as a heel, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, shout out all the shout outs, all the, the praise be to Sheik, man. It's a rough day for wrestling fans. I know it's a rough day for me. It's even rough to be able to just talk about this because I enjoyed him so much. And it's crazy because I didn't get to know him until later on, right? Because his prime and everything, we were babies.
Yep.
Literal babies and things like that. So but I grew in appreciation for him as I grew into my wrestling wisdom, and he's just absolutely one of the greatest. And this is a rough one, man. This is a rough one.
It really is, man. It most definitely is. Once again, like I said, rest in peace to the Iron Sheik. Much respect and much condolences to his family. An absolute legend. We will forever respect the legend, everything that he did for the business. Once again, Olympic gold medalist, WWF World Heavyweight Champion, Tag Team Champion. Rest in peace to the Iron Sheik.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Come and rock with us at your house. Ain't no stopping this podcast from dropping. We here to get that work. Welcome, guys, to In Your House, and you already know who I am, and that is Hollywood House, and you know the vibes when we slide on through. We hit you with that work, round the clock when it comes to this professional wrestling business, and we do it so well because when we give it to you when you are on the road. Maybe you in the gym. Maybe you dropping your kids off at school. Maybe you trying to, hit those towns, get that experience. Maybe you want a layover. Maybe you need just pop us in your ears and let us give you that work when it comes to professional wrestling. And that is exactly what we intend to do. So we are back here. You guys heard the top of the show. You know exactly what happened. You know exactly what's going on. Rest in peace to the Iron Sheik. This episode of In Your House is dedicated to the memory of Iron Sheik. So you know what that means. I gotta bring in my tag team partner here, and that's Hypocrisy Jones, bro. Because we're making this in memoriam of the Iron Sheik. You know we gotta give him that work heavy episode on this one, bro.
Yo, because we are dedicating this to the Iron Sheik, I just want to start this episode by saying, fuck Hulk Hogan.
Fuck him. Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Man, it's so crazy. It's crazy. But once again, we hit those points. We did what we had to do, and we gave respect to the legend, and now we're going to respect him even more by talking about what he was amazing at, and that's professional wrestling. And man, a lot of things going on in professional wrestling, man. It's Wednesday, so you guys know what that means. That is right. That means it's Wednesday night Dynamite. So we're going to talk a little bit of that. We're going to preview a little bit of AEW. We got a lot of things to talk about. I know later on in the episode we're going to talk some Smackdown, including this Bloodline Storyline. I mean, it is just getting juicier and juicier as the weeks go by. What's going to happen with Jay? Jimmy's been exiled. Solo turns on his brother. A lot of twists and turns. But before we get to that, we got to talk a little AEW. And we got a big episode tonight, man. You want to break down what we got for AEW Dynamite tonight, bro?
Yo. We absolutely do have a big episode for AEW Dynamite tonight. It looks like on the card we are going to have... as I get things situated. We are going to hear from AEW World Champion MJF. Chris Statlander, your TBS champion, will face off against Anna JAS. Ricky Starks versus Jay White. And in this match, Juice Robinson and FTR are banned from ringside. Okay. So that'll be pretty interesting. We will see Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Hook versus Preston Vance and Drolistico in a Texas.
Hook action. Okay.
Yeah, in a Texas tornado match. So that'll be a lot of craziness.
That should be fun.
Yeah. That one's definitely gonna be fun. And we will also see Blackpool Combat Club in action versus Chaos.
Okay.
So hell yeah, leading into Forbidden Door, like I like that.
Yes, I like that. I like what I'm hearing.
And then what I'm assuming is our main event of the night, we will see Orange Cassidy put up his AEW International Championship for what, like the 25th time, 23rd time, something like that. Man, bro
is making that title. I don't care what nobody say. I just don't.
He will put up. He is putting that title on the line against Swerve Strickland.
Oh my god, that's gonna be good as hell.
Oh my god, yeah, this is gonna be juicy. I can't wait for this one, yo.
All right, man. Okay, it sounds like we got a heavy episode. We're gonna hear from MJF. You know he gonna be talking that mess, bro. And I'm always here for that man talking that mess.
Yes, feed me more of it, man. Look, I don't know if y'all know out there, but man, I'm a devil worshiper, and since MJF is the devil, I can't wait to soak up what he's spewing out. Like, just let me sponge it.
Yeah, I'm taking it all in,
it's
man.
It's not weird. I swear.
No, that's not weird at all. But we got Chris Statlander, the new TBS champion, and man, that still sounds weird to me, man. That still sounds
it is a little weird.
I mean,
it is a little.
I'm not
and
mad. I'm not mad.
We didn't get
weird.
to talk about this last week, right? Like, so like let's get into that a little bit because I think it's weird, but like this is where it was supposed to be going in the first place. I know I think wrestling fans are just so forgetful,
Yeah,
right? At times.
short
At
memory,
where
man.
very short memory, very, very short memory. This is where all of this was going. This is where all of this was heading from the jump. And then Chris Statlander was injured. So at least
Yeah,
they kind of kept with the story. And plus Jade went, right? Maybe the story was supposed to end at her going 50-0, and then they had to wait
yeah.
longer or something like that.
Because maybe she
But I
wasn't going as fast enough as far as her being Chris Statlander. She wasn't moving fast enough in their injury process.
Right. Right. So, but I still think this was always the plan. I'm
Yeah,
not mad. I wasn't mad at the move.
I'm not
I'm more
mad.
happy. I was more happy with the move, and this doesn't seem as weird to me as maybe it should. Like, not seeing Jade as the TBS champion might be a little weird. Seeing Chris Statlander as it's a very, very new thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's not weird to me, more refreshing.
It's definitely refreshing. It is that, but still, like saying that to me is just like new to. I've been so used to it being Jade because she's literally been the one and only champion since the title's conception. So
Yes,
like that's just crazy. But like not mad about it. Happy that we get a chance to see Chris Statlander get this championship and have her run as champion, and then even more excited for what's waiting in the wings for Jade Cargill. What's next for her? So like I'm definitely excited, and like I said in one of the older episodes, and I think it was maybe last week's solo shot where I was like, let's see what happens now with Jade Cargill. Let's see what happens with Bianca Belair. Now they've both lost their titles in the same weekend. Now it's time for them to progress. It's time for them to move forward. It's time for us to see growth in their character work and maybe in some of their
absolutely.
in-ring work. So like this isn't a bad thing for either woman. If anything, this is a good thing. It's time to get to that next
Yes.
level.
It was definitely a much needed thing for both women, especially also in Bianca's case. I think we're all ready to see that turn.
Yeah.
Um, um, and I'm definitely ready to see that in Jade's case. I hope they fold her into um, um, some of the Outcast storyline with Britt Baker and stuff like that being an
Yeah.
AEW original and basically a foundational piece of the women's roster in AEW. I've been championing that for a while now though. If they can bring her into the fold and maybe Ember Moon or I'm sorry what's her name
Athena?
yeah, Athena. I'm sorry. Into that story, it might make it a little bit more juicy. That's something that I want, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
There's a lot of different ways it can go because like it really seems like what they're doing with the Outcast and the AEW originals is almost like pseudo WCW versus NWO type vibes, but with the women's division, so you bring in Goldberg being Jade Cargill to come and clear house, so I could see that makes some sense. And I definitely feel like that's something they can do moving forward because she needs a different wrinkle in her character. A babyface turn probably wouldn't hurt her at all.
yeah,
But we'll see what happens. I think with Bianca and with Jade, it needs to be flipped in the case. I think we need to see Jade come back and be a babyface. I think Bianca needs to go heel. So like it's just one of those situations where it's like we've seen you do this for long enough. Now let's see you switch and do the other thing and see how well you can progress in that role. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely. And in Jade's case, I don't even necessarily need her to stay a baby for a very long time. It could
Nah.
be for a short-sighted sort of thing. Even in the storyline that I pitched earlier, like if she was to join with the AEW originals and then somehow betray them because of whatever she could get out of the Outcast of sort of thing, that would be pretty much on brand for her. And get some continuity to her overarching character.
Right. Man, I gotta tell you, man. There's many things that can be done with this if they do it right, and you never really know, man. You never really know because it's just that next level, that next step, and we're ready to get to it, and
I want it. Feed it to me. Come on.
For sure, we want it. We want more character development. We want better matches from Jade Cargill, which I think that we will in time if she keeps training and doing what she needs to do, and I believe that she is, and I believe that she will. But speaking of matches, man, I gotta ask you, out of this card tonight, because we have quite a bit of wrestling action with hearing from MJF, but a lot of this is a lot of wrestling. So out of all these matches here, and there's a lot of exciting ones, which one are you kind of looking forward to the most when you kind of chill out, hang back, kick it, and sit down and watch some Dynamite for the evening?
Bro, I want this violence. So give me this Blackpool Combat Club versus Chaos.
Okay.
I don't know what this is going to entail or what who is going to be involved in this, but like give me some of this. Like I love this kind of AEW New Japan kind of fusion sort of stuff. Like give me more of that.
I like it. Yeah, it makes me want to watch, honestly.
Yeah.
That's definitely one that you would definitely want to look forward to. Orange Cassidy and Swerve are going to put on a clinic. I mean, I just can't see. I really can't see any other way that this isn't going to be a complete and total banger. Like, and definitely main event quality. Like, and that says something. Listen, that says something there, Hype. Because like looking at this card right here that I'm looking at right here in front of me, like these are great matches. But to me, I mean, Orange Cassidy and Swerve got to be the main event, right?
Yeah, they have to be. And I wasn't downplaying this match. I am so looking forward to this match because I think this is like I may be wrong, but like, you know, if I was a betting man and if this was a betting show, I mean, I'd be putting my money on Swerve on this because I think it's his time. I think this is the time they pull the trigger on Cassidy's run, and I think this is the moment. So like, I am looking forward to this one.
I would like to see that as well. And like, look at what Cassidy has done for that championship. Like, I'm sorry, bro. TNT title, who? Like, this is the secondary title in that company. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing it. He's making this the workhorse championship. That international championship feels important because of the constant defenses and the stellar reign of Orange Cassidy.
Well, I mean, just to compare and contrast, it feels just as important as an Intercontinental Championship, right? And that's saying something with the, champion like Gunther that has had his championship over, is it 200 or 300 some odd days? But that's saying something. Like for a brand new championship. I feel comfortable comparing it to an Intercontinental title.
Yes.
I'm not saying that it's better than that by any means, so don't get at me.
It doesn't have the lineage of the Intercontinental Championship, but the way that they're carrying the belt is the way that WWE has been known to carry their Intercontinental Championship. This is the television title. This is the title that you're going to see defended, semi-regularly by a champion that is going to be always ready any night of the week. It's what we've seen so much in the past with the Intercontinental Championship. I know that because I'm a huge fan of the Intercontinental Championship belt. Bro, when I was coming up, I had the Intercontinental Championship DVD, and I would just sit up there and watch it. I'm like, dang, this title is important. So like, I don't think it's too far-fetched. Like, nobody is saying that the international champion holds the prestige that the Intercontinental title does. Nobody's saying that. What we're saying is that it is the way that they're pushing it currently is giving us energy of Intercontinental Championship. It's giving us Intercontinental title energy because of the way that they're presenting that belt in such a prestigious light.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what that's all I was trying to get at too. I feel like they've given it a great foundation. They've started paving the way and putting the bricks in place that are necessary to to keep a withstanding championship, right?
Yeah.
It's honestly things they should be doing or should have been doing. Well, I'm not gonna knock AEW because I think their world heavyweight title has been very good. It's things they should have been doing with that TNT title, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the TNT title is just like once again, it doesn't feel important. The way that like this international championship it has boom, skyrocket past it, in my opinion, because that's what I hear about. I don't really hear that much about the TNT Championship. When I hear any other title besides MJF's title in that company, I'm always hearing about that International Championship. I'm always hearing about
or the
Orange
Trios
Cassidy,
title.
Or the Trios title. All you got to do is go on Twitter and the story tells itself. They're talking about Orange Cassidy. They're talking about the International Championship. And at the end of the day, that's the name of the game. Get them talking. So yeah, man, I think they're doing a great job with that title.
I think so too. And let's be real, TNT title is just a TV title. It's legit. It's the WCW TV title, right? Just reincarnated. And that's what it's always been. That's what they've treated it as. And if we're being real, I think that was an even lower title than like the Cruiserweight title, right?
I believe that, yeah, because the way that they were presenting the Cruiserweight Championship in WCW, it was, I mean, they presented that division in a great way. The television champion was there in WCW, and, like, it still had guys on it that, like, guys that had great runs with it, but, like, I remember Disco Inferno TV title runs, and I was like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but like the United States Championship there in WCW, that was another one that felt big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the way up to the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, the big gold, and So the way that they presented the titles is, the television title was kind of like compared to the U.S. title, and that's what I see with the International Championship compared to the TNT title, to be clear.
Same. Absolutely same.
All right, man. So we're talking a lot of TV. We're talking AEW. We got a really great episode going on tonight that's going to be going on here in the next few minutes. Now we have the announcement now of CM Punk. CM Punk is going to be making his return on June 17th at Collision. We've talked about it. You and The Voice have talked about it over there on Friday Night Hype. Check that out. And you guys kind of broke things down and everything. Now, as the weekend came around and now we're riding here into Wednesday, news is now breaking, Hype, that they're not doing so great as far as ticket sales in other places besides Chicago, that being AEW Collision. And this is speculation from, of course, the big dog Dave Meltzer, but we got to talk about it and we got to speculate on it. So Punk's coming back. We know that. That's been announced on TV. We know it's going down. What are we thinking here? What's accrediting these low ticket sales, alleged low ticket sales for every other event? What are you thinking?
So if I can, I'm going to quote, the wrestling god, Dave Meltzer. I think he's undefeated. So he says on, Dave Meltzer noted that ticket sales for many of these events appear to be struggling in stark contrast with Forbidden Door, which takes place in Toronto on June 25th. But basically, he's quoted in saying they're bad. Punk has been moving tickets in Chicago, but not in the other places. Not in Toronto, which is not good sign because Toronto is one of the greatest markets in North America. They're sold out. They sold out Forbidden Door in a snap of the fingers, and then for Collision and then for the Collision show, there's still under 2,000 tickets in Scotiabank Arena. And then he goes on to also say, I was told ahead of time that Regina and Saskatoon, which is actually a Dynamite, would be very tough because people in Saskatchewan because I don't know, this is quoted weird. But basically, they're not getting the ticket sales they are expecting, right? Look,
Right.
Punk ain't doing the numbers that they thought he would. He may sell out in Chicago, man, but man, I don't know. There's at least 49 other elite states you could go to, right? Like that you got to be able to sell out, and if you're going to compete. So what's going on,
So in a nutshell here, you telling me that makes me feel like they are thinking, let's get him in here for this debut of Collision. Let's see what we want to do with him next. We've got this Wembley Stadium show that we're wanting to do. For me, it's like they're thinking the bigger areas but not thinking the smaller areas, because like Punk, he's definitely that guy in Chicago, and he definitely has his market, but still there really is still a some percentage of wrestling fans that still turned off to this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not the huge draw that they really think that he is. I think that he is a needle mover, especially for TV, but TV is different than going there in person and sitting down. And is Punk TV must see, or is he in person must see? And that's the question that you got to ask yourself at this juncture of his career.
Yeah, that is definitely the question that you have to ask him. Look, he's going to pop a rating whenever he appears, because people want to hear what he has to say, and people want to hear, in what way he's going to say things, if he's going to take more shots. He's polarizing, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's worth all this, man. I don't know if AEW's taking on a whole lot. And as we noted with the Saturday premiere of AEW Collision on June 17th, they're taking on what now is a third show for the TNT TBS network. But man, I don't know. I can't bank all this on Punk, man. He's out there. Yeah, why did you not? I don't understand why. If I can be frank and real,
mm-hmm.
and maybe I don't know, why aren't you pushing the elite more? Why are they feeling like a back burner sort of thing? Why are, like, I know they were just in the main event of Double or Nothing, correct? But it feels like they are still taking the back burner of things. Whereas, like CM Punk he has been getting all the news. He's been getting all the praise. Everyone's been talking about him. It's all, every time, Tony Khan has an announcement, they're generally adjacent, steps or breadcrumbs to, hey, CM Punk is coming.
Yeah.
Right. And that, which is what we got last week. I hope that he comes out again and he says CM Punk is coming, and we get this Veer thing, at least until the 17th, because that would be amazing. But like, I don't know, man. I don't buy into CM Punk. Like, he kind of bit his own foot off, and it's not even because of what he said. It was just because he couldn't stay consistently healthy. Yeah. And maybe that was a little bit too much of an ask.
I don't know, man. I know this. I go back to what you were saying about pushing the elite more into the forefront. And when I think about that, I think of these guys are EPs with the company. They're heavily involved in what's going on there. But I also know this about the Bucks. When they flew a little too close to the sun, they got their wings burnt. So, and when I say that, I say this. Maybe maybe the Bucks don't want to be in the forefront like that. And when I'm speaking specifically about the Bucks, maybe they don't want to be in the forefront like that. And some people are just like that. Some people are just like, they just want to focus on the wrestling, as to where CM Punk is somebody who can take that type of heat, take that type of hatred, and absorbs it. So Punk is always going to be somebody that's going to have hate spewed at him because of the way that he carries himself. Like, there's going to be people that love him, but there's going to be a lot of people that hate him. Now, what I do know about the Jackson brothers is that, one, they flew a little too close to the sun, and when you start to hit that upper echelon of popularity, people aren't always going to say nice things to you, especially on Twitter. And I do know that the Jacksons have been known to deactivate their Twitter, deactivate their social media when the heat got too hot on them. And like, I'm not saying that they're soft or they're weak or anything like that, but like, I just don't think that they could take those blows like somebody like a CM Punk can, who's going to take it on the chin and just keep on going. Not everybody's built like that. So like, maybe that's why
I can see that.
Maybe that's why you don't see them like really pushing themselves into the forefront, because they don't want to be subjugated to that scrutiny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that. That could definitely be a thing. I mean, I don't know. This may sound crazy and maybe a little bit hypocritical, but that's my name. But I think people put too much weight in social media.
Oh,
and
gosh,
again,
yeah.
That may sound very, very hypocritical coming from me. I'm a very social media heavy presence guy.
That's what we do, though. I mean, we're here. This is the thing. Let me just add this real quick, and I'll let you go. There's definitely different utilizations that you can use to make social media work for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that go on there and they spill their guts and tell you when they're eating a cheese sandwich or when their goldfish died or something like that. And there's other people who go on social media for straight business and to push a product and to push what they're trying to push, whatever art they're trying to push out into the world. So, there's definitely ways to use social media. And I think that people do weigh too heavily on it, especially when it comes to their opinions and their emotions.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's a tool, at least in my mind, and I may be wrong, but it is just a tool. Now I understand, like, sometimes taking back from that tool, if you have to go dark or whatever.
Yeah.
That means whatever you want it to mean. It could mean nothing, and that's okay. But
Bro,
you use your social media as you need to.
Yeah.
Oh, as we all have. I may take a break tomorrow. You never know.
So
I'm
I just be
like
taking
that.
breaks, bro. Like, I'm not the type of person. I'm not the type of person to like announce that I'm gonna take a break. Like, I'll just be like, you know what? I'm not looking at it for a couple days, and I just be gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that is perfectly healthy and perfectly okay. But I think when we look at it in terms of a guy like CM Punk, right?
Yeah.
He is a guy that looks at social media as a tool, and I mean, I'm not calling him a bad guy or anything like that. I'm sure he seems like a nice guy and things like that. But in a lot of ways, he has used this social media throughout this time, to add more fuel to fires, whether it be on speculation, whether it be on to air his grievances, to yell at journalists, what have you. And as I would rather someone take a break healthily than to just spew all the nonsense and toxicity as they can. And again, I may come off hypocritical because I've been through times like that where I've just posted whatever. Everybody worried about me, and then I realized, oh wait, no, people actually look at this. I look at this as a fake thing. People look at this as a real thing. So I have to like kind of be conscious of that. So I don't know, but I don't think CM Punk is a guy like that. He's using this to fuel fires. Look, he's gaslighting. He gaslighted this entire experience. And he made it this big thing. And now I'm I'm not calling the destruction of AEW because I think AEW is great and like I want it to strive and be healthy, but I worry about it taking on too much, and I worry about the role that CM Punk is playing because it reminds me of one of those guys that if Sheik would. I know Sheik never said, fuck CM Punk or anything like that, but in my mind, he reminds me a lot of a Hulk Hogan, right? And how he's dictating this role, how he's dictating this entire experience with AEW right now,
and getting paid while doing it.
Yes.
And that does, I mean, shoot, you ain't saying nothing but a word. I get where you're coming from because he is. This is somebody that could potentially, not saying that it's going to happen, but I just got to say it. This is somebody that could potentially be a company killer. I mean,
absolutely.
If he's sucking up all your funds, sucking up all your time that you could be given to other talent, and making everything about him, this is somebody that could drain your company, bro.
Yeah, and you don't need that. Like, you don't need any of that. Like, our homie, the voice in the chat, he said that he hopes CM Punk grows up and realizes he needs to understand best in the world is just a phrase and not what he is.
And I think that when he was doing that best in the world thing, he really believed it. He really believed that nobody was touching him at that point. But now it's like, man, you need to CM Punk, his last run really reminds me of like Russell Westbrook, like in any team that he's ever been to. But he's like, I'm not a bench guy. I'm a starter.
Yeah.
I can go out there and I can be a star. I'm like, bro, like, that's great that you're a former MVP and that you averaged a triple-double like some years ago, but you're not that guy anymore. And that's what we're seeing with CM Punk. Yeah, you had one of the best storylines back in 2011 when you had that contract negotiation storyline with John Cena at Money in the Bank. And yes, you've had great runs in the WWE, but bro, that was like 10 years ago, dog. Like, you're not that guy anymore. You
are not. And if I may interject, we have some Dynamite action going on as Dynamite just started. We were both wrong. Look, Orange Cassidy and Swerve Strickland is going to start the show.
They going now.
Yeah, they are going right now. So, like as we continue to talk and speculate, we're going to be paying attention to this AEW action as well.
Yes, man. Okay, so we got that starting.
Oh my God!
Up.
Look at all the tape that Orange Cassidy has on his back, man. He is just so beat up. And look, and Swerve Strickland came out looking like Coming to America King, bro. Eddie Murphy and all.
We love to see it, man. We love to see it. So we got that going on. We're definitely gonna keep up with that and see what's next for this international championship title match. But before we do that, man, we got to talk about another champion. We got to talk about Seth Rollins, man. And I don't know if you saw, but Seth Rollins just released his dates, bro.
Hey, man, is this a troll? Yo, is that what he's doing? Is this what Seth is doing right now? He's trolling.
I think he is, bro.
Oh man,
he's got a pretty heavy schedule.
Yeah, he absolutely does. I mean, heavy schedule for a champion. We're not really used to something like that.
No, we're not, man. And I got to tell you, man, I aspire to be as petty as Seth Rollins is, bro. This guy put his dates out there, and you just know that this was a big F you to the tribal chief, and I am here for it, bro. Man, I love this. I love the narrative that Seth Rollins is putting on this title. I'm a better champion than you. Oh, you don't even fighting show champion. Up. I'm a fighting champion. Oh, you're not the champion I am. Like, I love it. Let's get this competitive spirit going. This is what I'm loving. Seth Rollins is really that guy right now.
Yeah, I've been telling y'all. I've been telling y'all. Like, this is the match I want to see is Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I know we touched on that yesterday with the solo shot. Yo, and if you haven't heard that, yo, please go back and listen to it.
Yes.
It's on all the podcast forums. We're not gonna spell them out for you because you know what they are, but go back and listen. But I love that, because it's just absolute troll work, absolute, chef kiss to Seth Rollins on that, yo.
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving, like, you can say what you want about the title, not you specifically, but I mean anybody out there listening that's not a fan of the World Heavyweight Championship because they hate the branding, the big W, like, oh, it was almost big gold, but listen, I get it, I understand, but listen, Seth is the right guy for this title. The title looks right on him. It just, everything feels right with this championship and its holder right now and the way that he's presenting it. I'm loving the direction so far. He just had a great match with Damian Priest on Monday Night Raw. I mean, he's going to keep rolling and keep looking for challengers, and it looks like a challenger's found him, bro. A challenger's found him, and this was on last night's NXT as one Braun Breaker issued the challenge for Seth Rollins to show up and defend the World Heavyweight Championship against him on NXT.
I mean, look, I give it to Braun Breaker. I mean, you're not getting called up, so you might as well call them out, right?
Yeah.
And why not call out the best? It seems like a weird move.
It is weird.
I'm slightly confused about it. I'm more confused than the look on Braun Breaker's face right now. At least in this picture. Yeah, I love this picture. I want to see it. I think it'd be a very good test.
Yes.
Braun Breaker definitely needs something to do. I think he's meddling the waters in NXT. I mean, he's basically ruling it from behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And not in that way, but he's taking out guys like Ilya Dragunov in the back. He's setting off his own path of destruction. And I like it. I like it. You think you're the big fish in the small pond and you want to go to the big pond, call out the biggest fish.
Yep. And I think it's good strategy, man. I think it's good strategy. I think it makes sense. And it gives Seth Rollins something else to do because we don't really know what his next challenge is going to be going into Money in the Bank. Obviously, he's going to be awaiting a potential cash-in competitor if they so decide to cash in on his title. But that's the thing. We don't know who they're going to cash in on, and that's the element of the Money in the Bank. But we do know that looming, he will have to keep an eye over his shoulder for whoever that Money in the Bank winner is. But the thing is, what's he going to do up until that point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the move. Yo, and especially if Seth is going to continue to be this fighting champion, at least for a while. I don't know how long he can keep up with it. Or if they're going to, I don't know what WWE is going to do. I can't speculate. But all I do know is that Seth will put on some magnificent performances, almost akin to this magnificent performance that's being put on right now in AEW with between Orange Cassidy and Swerve Strickland as they are going at it. Swerve has been working Orange's arm throughout this match, really trying to break him down, but Orange is currently picking up momentum with a big crossbody from the top rope.
Oh, man, definitely going to want to see what happens in this match. I'm once again surprised that they're opening with it, but not mad about it. So we're going to see what happens as things go on with this, man. And we talk about a lot of greatness. We talked about a lot of greatness. We just talked about Seth Rollins and his greatness. We've talked about Roman Reigns and his greatness. We talked about Iron Sheik and his greatness. A lot of greatness going on in this conversation. And before we go to break here, we got to talk about greatness retiring. And this is Sandra Grey. Sandra Grey. If you don't know who Sandra Grey is, give us an opportunity to bring you up to speed. Sandra Grey is a fashion and costume designer known particularly for her work designing and building costumes for wrestling. She's been working since WCW. She's done many designs, costume designs. Miss Elizabeth and Lex Luger lobbied for her to be signed exclusively to WCW, and she was.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was, and she was with WCW up until the selling of the company, where when WCW got sold to the WWE, her contract was acquired by WWE in 2001.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I became familiar with her work actually through a lot of WWE documentaries, seeing her behind the scenes working with talent, especially like with the names like Sasha Banks and just a few other superstars as they did behind the scenes documentaries and things like that. And then I saw her with in the vlog series with AEW. Behind the scenes with guys like Sammy Guevara and the Elite and things like that. So I knew about her talent, and she's going to be tremendously missed. I'm sure they were going to find a very talented replacement, but those are very, very big shoes to replace, because that is a woman who's been working in this industry for so long.
Absolutely a long time. Like I said, she was with WWE up until 2015. Then Grey got hired to All Elite Wrestling in 2019 as their in-house seamstress. And she's often been seen on WWE reality programming like Total Divas. She's had clients like Nikki Bella, Alicia Fox, Cameron, Cody Rhodes, Dolph Ziggler, many names. MJF was one of the recent ones. She actually created the wedding dress for Naomi's 2014 wedding to Jimmy Uso and Penelope Ford's on-screen marriage to Kip Sabian. She did that dress too. This is a woman. Wow. This is a woman who has left her legacy in working for pretty much every, the major companies, including AEW. And man, somebody like that who has put that much dedication to her craft, to professional wrestling, will be greatly missed in the industry. And straight up happy retirement to that legend. Real talk. That's work right there. That's work.
Happy trails, and kick your feet up, get you some mimosas, and chill, You put in hard work.
Earned it.
You deserve this break.
Absolutely.
The voice in the chat says, "What do you think her favorite character to design for was?"
Oh, that I couldn't even gather to guess that one. Honestly, I couldn't, because
with the amount of talent that she's worked with, the amount of names.
Exactly. I couldn't even gather
just
to
right
guess
off
that.
rip mentioning Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if with them lobbying for her, I'm sure she did a lot of Double H's stuff. I'm sure she did a lot of like other people's stuff. Man, that's a hard one.
Most recently, I bet it was interesting working with MJF.
Yeah, I bet that was really, really interesting. I know that Sammy works with her very closely, because you can see that on the vlogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I bet he's pretty interesting and maybe a little fun.
I bet they're pretty close. Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah. He possibly is a little bit annoying, but it's Sammy.
We're used to it with him, man. But no, most definitely. Happy trails. Enjoy retirement. That's a legend in my book. Like, not all roles in wrestling are just what you see on camera, and I think somebody like that has done a great, wonderful service to the professional wrestling industry and should be absolutely celebrated. So once again, happy retirement, enjoy it, and we're not gonna retire here yet, Hype. It's not time to retire yet, but we are gonna take a break.
Oh, we got to pay some bills, huh?
We
do. It's that time right there, right?
We got to get that done, man. But when we do come back, we're going to talk Smackdown. We're going to speculate a little on Smackdown, and most definitely speculate on the Bloodline storyline, including Roman Reigns and Jimmy and Jey Uso.
And don't forget, we'll be right here giving you coverage on this AEW Dynamite right now.
No doubt. Hey guys, it's your boy, the director, Con House of In Your House, and I'm here to let you know about a small business that produces beard products products and also supports small stage, independent, professional wrestling stars. It's called Ring Master Beard Company. Try one of their several scents, beard oils, balms, or mustache wax, and keep your beard looking and feeling sweet. Purchase your favorite wrestlers or personalities' personalized scent, and they receive a portion of each sale. And with that being said, don't forget to pick up a bottle of the Director in Alakan House Special. Your boy, a blend of eucalyptus, mint, and tea tree oil. Have your beard feeling fresh, have your beard feeling smooth, just like your boy, the Director. Follow Ringmaster Beard Company on Twitter and Instagram at Ringmaster Beard, or on their Facebook page, and that is Ringmaster Beard Company. Check it out. Get your beard cream. Hit your beard with that. Because sometimes being a master in the ring means mastering your beard. Welcome back to In Your House. You guys already know that vibe. We are here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling, and we've already had a really great episode, and we're about to speculate on a little Smackdown and the Bloodline storyline. But before we do that, I got to do my due diligence, and that's thank you guys. Thank you so much for making us a 5-star podcast on Apple Podcasts. It is appreciated. We appreciate all the patronage that you guys are giving us over on the podcast and over here on Twitch. We're here for Wednesday night In Your House Live. Guys, remember, they're going to be doing it again. Them being Hype and the voice Josh Joseph, and that's Friday for Friday Night Hype. So go on and head back on over to www.twitch.com/teamIYH on Friday nights. You guys can see what's so hype about these Fridays. So check that out. And if you want to hear a different opinion, guys, about professional wrestling, head on over to my man, the Pope, Elijah Burke, as he and Pollo Del Mar go round and round, back and forth, and head to head as they talk professional wrestling. And guys, that's the Pope's point of view. That's 9:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all major podcasting platforms on Saturday. And guys, if you want to support the movie, head on over to www.prowrestlingtees.com/inyourhouse. Go ahead and get you a shirt, so that way you can already know, let everybody know you representing In Your House, you're part of the household, you representing the set, you representing Hollywood, whatever you choose to do, it's all there. Check it out. And guys, speaking of In Your House, if you guys want to go ahead and get an In Your House shirt, you might as well head on over to Macomb, Illinois, June 17th for In Your House. They're at the D6 Arena, and it's going to be a movie, Jack. A lot of things going on, a lot of new faces that's going to be seen, including what's next and what's the next move for the greatest D6W champion in history ever, and forever, the right-handed god, Sam Knight. Guys, check it out. Once again, that's D6 presents In Your House, June 17th. And man, there's a lot of things going on in professional wrestling, as we say, and it never stops. It keeps going. And one thing that is kept going here, Hype, that is the progression of the Bloodline storyline over there on Smackdown. Man, the biggest question that we're asking now, and we saw a promo of it from Paul Heyman on Monday Night Raw, is what is going to be the next move for Jey Uso? Is he going to exile his brother and continue with Solo and Roman in the Bloodline? Or is he going to turn his back on Roman and Solo to stay with his brother? Where are we going with the storyline, bro?
Jay's going to do what he always does. Fall in line. Those were the words of Roman Reigns as they closed out Friday's SmackDown. And I believe much will hold true. I believe that, Jay is going to fall in line. Oh, man. I not to interrupt or to stop this conversation, but as we're following along with Dynamite, Orange Cassidy just pulled out a victory on Swerve when it really looked like Swerve was about to pull off the W. So no title change in the International Championship, but Swerve is now getting beat down nonetheless for that. So
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we keep the title there on Orange Cassidy. Swerve is not champion, even though it was that's kind of what people were kind of pulling for and kind of thinking. Wow, that is crazy. But I'm sure we'll talk more about that. I'm sure you guys will discuss a little bit more about that on Friday Night Hype. And as far as what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But right now we're going to talk about this Bloodline storyline, man. We're going to get back on track here, and I got to tell you, man, it begs the question: what is Jay gonna do? Is he really, because he has kind of submitted to Roman and submitted to
Every
his
time,
family
right?
bloodline every time.
Every
So
time
like,
he's
and
there
we're
for
gonna say
family.
this again. He's there for his family.
He,
He's still trying to mend fences. He was still trying to mend fences last week. Roman said no, and the spike was delivered by Solo. Man, this has become one of the, I mean, it's the most interesting story in professional wrestling right now. And where is this going? And I think that that's the special thing about it, is that even though a lot of people feel like this is going to be where Jay sticks up with his brother, what if he does leave his brother Jimmy out on an island by himself? Where is this going?
oof.
There's so many twists and turns we can go to with this.
I absolutely, there are so many twists and turns, but I mean, Jay has to, like, he has to do the right thing here, right? And you know he has to do what's right, what's best for his family overall. He has to do what's best for himself overall, or not just his extended immediate family, but even his wife and children and things like that. And I mean, he has to fall in line and just, acknowledge the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and just do what he has to do, and just, say fuck Jimmy, right?
Leaving Jimmy out on an island all by himself. How will they react following this fallout? It's going to be crazy to see. We don't really know. There's just so much things going on over there on SmackDown. We now have Roman, who has his new belt. Roman, and this is the thing, Roman has become, he's definitely the centerpiece in all this. And I think that what we're not talking about enough in this story, that I think that we should, is Roman's slow descent into madness. Roman is losing his mind.
Slowly
His ego
losing
has gotten
everything.
his ego has gotten so big that he feels like that nobody can touch him. And when you get to that point, when your ego gets that huge, when you do have a failure, when things do not go your way, you fall a lot harder than you would had you been humble.
Yeah.
Where's this gonna go for Roman, and how are we gonna see Roman eventually with egg all over his face coming out of this?
Yeah. So you're right, and I was joking earlier. Jay can't just fall in line to Roman, right? He has to side with his brother. They have to find a way to pull Solo over, so that every single piece of Roman's, that every single piece that Roman has that he says holds true, that is important to him, he loses it all. Because those things aren't important to him, because he has just been using those things to continue catapult himself, like lift himself upon his family's shoulders. So he has to lose every single thing, and it has to start with this turn of Jay, and then slowly it has to leak with a turn or a betrayal on maybe a Solo. Maybe it's not that Solo turns on Roman. Maybe Roman turns on Solo and gives him no choice.
Yeah, we could see that too. Because what did Jimmy say? Jimmy straight up said that Roman is going to use you and abuse you. He's gonna build you up and knock you down until he don't need you no more. And what if Roman does get to that point? Because up until this point, Roman's been pretty respectful to Solo. he hasn't had no real smoke with Solo. Like he ain't been talking to him. He hasn't been talking to Solo like he got a tail between his legs, like he's been talking to the Usos. There's always been a moderate amount of respect between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. What if he does get to a point where he's like, you know what? Now I can take all my frustrations out on you now that I don't have them anymore. And this is what makes Solo realize, hey, if I'm speaking candidly here, it makes Solo realize, hey, this guy's kind of a dick. You know what I'm saying? So what if we see that? That's another wrinkle in there that we might be able to see.
Yeah, that'll be a definitely interesting wrinkle. That's something that I'm looking forward to. We're gonna find out on Friday, and as we find out, myself and the voice, we will be speculating on that on Friday Night Hype. So come join us with that. As we find out kind of firsthand, right?
Yes, man, absolutely. And the Bloodline storyline has become such a pivotal story in the WWE, specifically Smackdown, because that's where they're kind of centering it at right now, which makes sense. But also, man, on SmackDown, it's just like on Monday Night Raw. The implications are going to be heavy for the simple fact that there's going to be Money in the Bank qualifying matches, man.
Yeah.
So we've got Michin going up against Bailey in a qualifying match, Santos Escobar, Mustafa Ali. We got Butch and we got Baron Corbin going up against each other. So we've got some pretty good matches there to get us some qualifiers and get us carried over to Money in the Bank. Now I know Money in the Bank is still just a little under a month away, but I like the fact that we're kind of staggering off some of these matches so we can keep excitement up for the Money in the Bank match. I wouldn't be mad if we didn't get our last qualifiers until literally a week before the show. Like, I'm fine with them lasting that long if that's what happens.
Yeah, I'm okay if they stagger this out and they leave some suspicion and suspense to this. That'll be absolutely great. But yeah, Money in the Bank is coming in hot, and they're doing big things for their PLE not debut but reappearance in the UK. Everyone is hot for that.
Yes, man, it's going to be very interesting. I'm loving where they're going. I'm loving where this is going. A lot of once again, like we say a lot of good wrestling, a lot of things coming down the pipeline as far as WWE, as far as AEW. We got Money in the Bank that's going to be coming up there at the O2. We got Forbidden Door that's coming up over there in Canada. We got this Wembley Stadium show that's coming up. We still got SummerSlam that's going to be going down in August. I mean, it's going to be a big summer for wrestling, y'all. Big summer for wrestling. So, whatever you like, enjoy it, love it. If you like to watch everything, enjoy it, love it. If you like to just watch one of the brands, enjoy it, love it. A lot of good stuff going on, a lot of fun stuff going on in professional wrestling. And, man, I do believe that this was a really fun episode, bro.
Yo, I think so too. It's always a party right here when we come together on Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Live. Love these little house parties that we get to do, and it was as always a pretty dope episode, right?
Yes, man, absolutely, 100%. I agree with you there. But with that being said, man, because this was a great episode, me and you get a chance to come together and do this. We got a chance to do this twice this week, not once but twice. So that's great. We got a chance to put out, like, we made up for a little bit of content last week, so I'm happy about that. I'm glad. I'm ready to ride off into the sunset. I really want to enjoy the rest of this AEW episode. I know you do too. You got a busy night ahead of you, bro. So
gotta go grind.
I know it, bro. I know it, because that's what we do. We some grinders. And because you're a grinder, because of the work that you put in, I, of course, got to make sure that I'm letting you get that opportunity to put out all this work, all this grinding that you're doing out there in front of the household. So go ahead, bro. Go ahead and plug anything that you got going on.
Household, y'all already know my name is Hypocrisy Jones. You can find me on all social medias as such. And just, come make sure you guys are checking out the In Your House Facebook page. Check out all the work that we put out on there. Myself, Hollywood, the man Jushin, who does the most with that, man. He's the engine of that. So I want to give him his flowers right now.
No doubt.
But check us out on that in Your House Facebook page. Make sure you guys are following us on the Twitch. Jump in these lives with us. We want your interaction. We want your takes. We want to talk to more than just the voice Joshua Joseph in the chat. No offense to him. We like him.
But we want more. We want more.
Yeah. Give us a little more. And then, of course, you can find me, check me out on the Kokomo Press and on the Weekly Plug. We drop every Friday for the Weekly Plug, so check out my plugs. We have a very, very special Juneteenth episode coming out this Friday.
Oh, that's dope.
So look out for that one. We're going to plug you into at least all the Juneteenth spots that we can. So
wonderful.
Check us out there. Other than that, let's kick it your way.
You know what, man? Before I go ahead and do my little plug-in that I do at the end of the show, I got questions, bro. I got questions, all right? And I'm asking you, I'm asking the household. I want to know, who in the hell is Matt Rife, bro? Who is that?
Man, Man, I don't know. Just keep your wife away from him. Just keep your wife away from him.
So he's some funny dude, right? He a funny man.
I don't know. Look, my fiance compared me to him. She was like, "You're funny like him. Like you guys got the same sort of humor, right?" And then I had to look him up, and I was like, "Oh, that's why. Oh, okay, cool. I ain't going to no Matt Rife show."
No, my girl. Listen, my girl ain't going to no Matt Rife show. All right, she gonna come home laughing because mans was tickling her on the inside. It's not happening.
Look, I told her. I said, "Why we need your show? We got Matt Rife at home."
Exactly. I'm telling you. Like, I've been trying to tell her, like, you got funny and cute at home. You don't need to be dealing with none of that, all right? Funny and cute is right here. You ain't going to be sitting over here. No, we're not playing that game. We're not doing it, all right? I'm not getting cucked by some funny man, all right?
No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Oh, man. So I wanted to just go through that real quick because I thought that was funny. Something I saw today on social media. But speaking of social medias, I got to plug mine. And mine is at The Hollywood House on IG, at Hollywood House on Facebook and on Twitter. And, of course, I'm always doing Playhouse Gaming with my boy Zay. You already know them vibes. We're playing so many games. We're going to be playing some Diablo 4 here soon. That's going to be great. But we played some more WWE 2K. We brought my daughter on. We played some Minecraft Dungeons. We've got that episode that's going to be coming out soon. That's been fun. So that's still rocking and rolling, still going. And of course, you guys can follow this great podcast, and that's In Your House on all those social media platforms. And that's HOWSE. And the W stands for work. So guys, thank you so much for coming through and listening to us and giving us your energy, as you guys often do when we bring you guys that work here on the podcast and here on Twitch. And guys, just remember to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone. Because the household, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace. And rest in peace to Sheiky Baby.
Fuck Hulk Hogan.